Come on, you guys have to love that music. I know you love it. I know you love it. I know you love it. It gets you going, right? It's the Lemon music, the Don Lemon Show music. Maybe we should have different music. Should we have different music for the Hot Topics and the Live at 5? Anyway, hello, good morning. Where are you guys streaming from this morning? Lemonheads, where are you streaming from this morning? I am in New York City. I'm in my apartment. I have to go to Washington, D.C. today. We're going to Washington, D.C. today. We're going to, I can't tell you where we're going. I'm going to do a panel and I'm going to do work and I'm going to show up somewhere that people are going to be surprised where we are. Don from Atlanta. Hi, good morning, Atlanta. Let's see. Oxford, England. No way. You're kidding me. Oxford, England. California's in the house. Boston, Detroit, Michigan, Jackson, Michigan. Holy schmoly, Ohio, Georgia. This chat is going to Tennessee. Will is in Tennessee. Florence, Italy says, April. Are you serious? Can you tell all your folks in Florence, North Carolina, Baltimore, tell everybody to tune into the LemoNation. So I'm so glad that you guys are here. You guys are all up early. Chicago's here, Wisconsin, Chattanooga, Tennessee, up on the screen on the YT. You guys know what I mean when I say YT? Ends with tube, starts with a Y. Brooklyn. You got to be careful what you say because the algorithm will throw you off a certain platform. Good morning, TikTok. So you can't say the whole name. Miami, Florida. How's the weather down in Miami? Man, I wish I was on a beach. It would be so nice. Indiana's here. Huntsville, Alabama. New York City, Grand Prairie, Texas, Delaware, Chicago, Phoenix, Florida. Hi, everybody. So glad that you're here. Really? Ethiopia? Interesting. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Listen, that rally fallout. Don't get it twisted. Do not believe everything you hear. This is not going to affect the Trump campaign. People are not worried about it. They're worried about it. They are worried about it. And it's penetrating. And they're nervous. And they should be. They're pretending it's not. It's not a big deal. It's just a comedian. It's so funny. It's not just a comedian. Look, if that was up on a comedy stage, if I told you, because I love stand-up comedy, I might be laughing my ass off. Thank you, TikTok, for that. I might be laughing my you-know-what off. I'm not laughing because this is not the time to laugh. And I'm going to agree with someone that you're going to be shocked that I actually agree with them because I would never, ever in 100 million years agree with this person. But a broken clock is right. They say twice a day. I say once a day because you only have one. One is AM, one's PM, but I know what it means. I'm just saying, just trying to find something funny to say. But I actually agree with this person. So Donald Trump may have lost the presidential race over the weekend. Seriously diminished his chances or may have lost the presidential race over the weekend. Now, I know all of the Trumpers and all of the MAGA folks in the chat, no, it's just a comedian. You guys are you're babies, you're doing this. And I'm going to show you some people who are saying the exact same thing. You're lying. It's not true. They are worried, and he could have lost the presidential campaign this weekend. Could have lost it. Now, let me tell you why. Instead of saying, staying on message, talking about inflation, talking about government spending, Trump's closing rally at Madison Square Garden, the second to last Sunday before the election, was a circus of cruelty and racism, and really tone deafness, right? So you may not think it was particularly racist. Okay, that's your prerogative. You may not think that it was sexist. You may not think it was cruel. It was certainly tone deaf if it was anything. So rallies are look, you guys are probably saying, Don, of course, Trump's rallies are always cruel and racist. And then you're right. But here's the thing. For whatever reason, this is the one that's cutting through. Because you know what I think? I do think that this promotionally, that this was good for him to be in Madison Square Garden, to be in his really home state, right? Florida is not his home state. It's just like where he goes to run away from New York. This was some big publicity for him. Okay. Big publicity for him. And so many people were watching who don't normally watch his rallies. They don't normally watch his rallies. Okay. So here's what's happening, all right? And I'm just going to start by playing some sound bites for you people, how I think this is cutting through, okay? How I think this is cutting through. This is, and I believe this is what's going to happen because you saw my friend from Puerto Rico was on yesterday. He was born in San Juan. He lives in Philadelphia right now. I met him 25 years ago when I moved to Philadelphia, and he lived there, and I moved there. And anyways, so he knows the Philadelphia, how many Puerto Ricans are there. This is what I believe Puerto Ricans are going to do when they get into the voting booth. Watch, and this is a TikTok video. Here it is.
It's going to vote for you. But I'm Puerto Rican and I have decency, I have self-respect. So after you make comments, your campaign made comments against us, against the Puerto Rican people, you forgot that we have the right to vote. And we have 500,000 people in Pennsylvania. We have more than 1 million people in Florida. And we have something that you don't know. We have dignity and self-respect. So now we're going to cast the vote against you. You're going to be punished. You have to be punished. You forgot that we took away a governor of Puerto Rico for insulting the people of Puerto Rico. So now my vote is for Kamala. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta respect the people of Puerto Rico. You have to respect us. You are nobody to impose and do what you did, insulting us, disrespecting us. Now you gotta face the consequences. And I bet that you are going to lose this election forever and ever now. Goodbye, Donald Trump.
That is not far-fetched, that TikTok video. I actually believe that not only did I believe that could happen, I believe that will happen. You tell me what you think. I'm trying to adjust something here. You tell me what you think, because I actually think that will happen. I totally think that will happen. There are so many people, and I think this is sticky, and they know it's sticky. You know how I know it's sticky? Because this is from our friends over at the Bulwark, right? This is what they're reporting. Trump doesn't respect anyone, says Disaster Report Squad. Yeah, you're right. This is what our friends over at the Bulwark are reporting, that the Trump campaign approved the remarks. Yesterday, it was just our friend Mark Caputo reporting. It says, breaking the Bulwark's reporting, according to 4 different Trump campaign sources, the Trump campaign approved these remarks by Tony Hinchcliffe last night, which was Kill Tony. That's the name of his podcast. Originally, Tony had planned to call Kamala Harris, the vice president, the C word, but campaign pushed back on that. Campaign staffers asked all speakers to submit drafts of their speeches ahead of time before they were loaded into the teleprompter. That's according to the sources. They forced Tony to remove the C word portion of his speech, but nothing else. And yet they released that statement saying that they had no knowledge and that did not reflect the campaign. Lies, lies, and more lies. Lies on top of lies, as my friend, the late, great Aretha Franklin put it. Look it up. That's what she says. And she's right. Lies, lies, and more lies. So they knew. The cruelty is that it's not a bug, it's a feature. It is the point. And this one was more particularly crueler than most. They knew immediately that people were taken aback by it. I know they knew outside the room because of what was happening on social media. Still, they did not address it. And they also knew inside the room, and you don't believe me? Here's someone who was there. Notice it immediately.
The room where this happened. So let's talk through the vibes and the reaction and the panic that has ensued. Tony Hinchcliffe got up there at around 2:30, I'd say, when the event started, and he dropped this joke.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
The room was a mixed bag on that one, for sure. The woman in front of me acted like it was the craziest, funniest thing she had quite literally ever heard in her life, and other people were audibly like, oh God. Little did we in the room know that this was gonna become the top headline, the only takeaway from the entire night. But what really kicked it into a whole different solar system was this. Bad Bunny, J-Lo, Ricky Martin. We're talking 300 million plus people getting exposed to fuck this messaging let's go Kamala Harris messaging. The coincidence about this was that Kamala Harris just so happened to be rolling out her plan for Puerto Rico. So the graphics, the information was already on her feed when this was going viral. So Trump did not address it during his speech, but his campaign did release a statement being like, we don't align with this. So the panic was real. And you're like, Grace, how do you know they were panicking? This election has been hovering at 50-50 for a minute now in the polls. Like, it's anybody's game. We have always said that this election will be won on the margins. So to piss off a population of voters, which, for the record, there are more Puerto Ricans living in the continental U.S. than there are on the island, and they can vote. So to piss them off, that's putting you in really murky territory. And no, of course, New York is not what they're worried about. It's Florida
and Pennsylvania,
and actually Pennsylvania once again. There are 1.1 million Puerto Ricans living in Florida. Just to put this in context, Rick Scott, who had to tweet this panic statement, he won his race in 2018 by 10,000 votes.
10,000 votes.
So to have 1.1 million people, let's just say even a third of them, pissed off because of this joke that was made, it's all of a sudden not looking really good for you. And Pennsylvania, which we've all had our eyes on like crazy people because everybody says the road to the White House runs through Pennsylvania, Joe Biden won that state by 80,000 votes. The hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans that live in Pennsylvania could literally decide this election. Let's see what happens.
You guys, the TikTokers are pretty smart. That was a TikTok video. Listen, I think the folks here on the tube, that's all. You guys are smart. Everyone is smart. But I find these videos because there are people who actually really break it down. And she broke it down. She's inside the room and she's right. Everything she said is right. I fact checked it. Thank you, May Money in the building, for your for supporting independent media. And thank you so much, Paul of Scotland, for supporting independent media. Okay. And then yesterday we had this thing. I was like, it's $1,000, but actually in the currency was like $200 because it's a foreign currency. It's funny that Marco Rubio, who's Latino, I've heard nothing from him, says MSYV 1226. Interesting, because they're all afraid. They know that this is penetrating. And I believe it's going to be like that man said, hey, you forgot we have a right to vote. We Puerto Ricans have a right to vote, and you have to respect us if you want our vote. And I believe that is where and how this is going to go. Okay? So that's what it was like inside the room, and they knew it immediately, and they addressed it. They knew it immediately. They didn't address it from the stage, but then the campaign addressed it later. Now, this is something that I just want to put up because these are the folks who are pretending that it is not penetrating, and they're saying, you know, ah, ha, 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 you need to get over it. Basically, what they're saying is we want to be able to say whatever we want to be able to say about anyone, especially minorities or immigrants, or even though Puerto Ricans are not immigrants. But if we, you know, white guys, we want to just be able to say whatever we want to say about anybody. It doesn't matter. Stop, shut up. This is what Matt Walsh is saying about, he's calling you and Puerto Ricans babies. Anyone who's offended.
Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking.
Yeah, funny in the room outside.
So he made fun of Puerto Ricans, black people, Jews, and Arabs. You know, that's a pretty equal opportunity offender. Were they offensive jokes?
Pause it.
I mean,
so he made fun of Puerto Ricans, black people, Jews, and Arabs. It's okay to do that, right? It's okay to do that. I don't think people should be babies about jokes. I don't, but look, especially if you're in a comedy club, but you have to be careful of the environment. You have to be cognizant of the environment that you're in. Someone else is going to make that point, who I don't usually agree with, but just go on. I just want to make the point right now, but go on.
yeah, if you're a whiny little baby, they're offensive to you. If those jokes are offensive to you, then you're just a whiny, pathetic, ridiculous, sad sack of a human being. If it was actually offensive, okay, not like you're pretending to be, but if you heard any of those jokes and were actually hurt by them, then you're just a ridiculous person, and your opinion doesn't matter.
Don, you're muted.
So you're just ridiculous, baby, sad sack. If you were offended by that, if you're on a comedy stage and you're at a club or wherever, okay, fine. Maybe some people would be offensive then, but I think it was fine. Words do matter, Yvette Daily. You're right. But on that stage, not really funny. And I don't think people are sad. This is a political event. Someone who's running for president. Someone who's running for president. But this, I thought this was, I don't know the difference between Steven Crowder and Matt Walsh. I thought it was Steven Crowder, kept telling the producer, Steven Crowder, they're saying it's Matt Walsh, Don. Matt Walsh says, again, he said it's strategy. Here it is.
I think that's maybe the deeper strategy here. I'm not one, as you know, to get into the 4D chess, the 4D chess stuff with Trump. But I do think there's a reason why they invited a comedian to this event. And they invited one who's known for telling jokes like this. This is not, like, anyone who's a fan of this guy is not surprised by it. Like, these are the kinds of jokes that he tells. And they invited this particular comedian. And the reason, I think, is that, and this is not even really 4D chess. This is just this is like pretty basic strategy. The reason is that they knew he would tell some edgy jokes, and they knew the media and the Dems would not be able to help themselves, and they would spend the next, 3 to 5 days crying about it. So Trump is goading the Dems into spending their final week on the campaign trail crying about jokes.
Okay, Matt Walsh. Nope. I tell you what it was. I tell you exactly what it was. This is the whole manosphere thing of them trying to reach out to the manosphere. Them trying to reach out to dudes, frat boys, on and on and on. That's what this strategy was. And so they thought that this would do it. And that's why they had all those dudes, jokes that I told you about. And people are like the guys who love to make dick jokes and whatever. And they're all so concerned about that and trans people and gay people. And I'm like, they're always making jokes. And it's always like the stupid, dumb frat white boy comedians who are obsessed with other guys' size. Black guys, they're obsessed with race. They're obsessed with gay people, whatever. And it's like, hey, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? And I know, because all the people who do that end up getting drunk and like doing hey man, what's up? What you doing? So this is someone that I don't usually agree with, but I agree with 100%. I'm sorry. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. I usually don't like to play her sound bites because I think that she has become a troll. But she's right about this one. Here it is. Got to give her props.
It wasn't a Nazi rally. All that's nonsense. But I'm telling you, even for me, and I voted for Donald Trump last week, it was too brotastic. Okay? It was. You're trying to win an election in which you're hemorrhaging female voters. Maybe when you present in front of hundreds, thousands at least, at Madison Square Garden, you clean up the bro talk just a little so you don't alienate women in the middle of America who are already on the fence about Republicans. Do they have no women advising their campaign? Is there no actual woman sitting behind the scenes, coming up with the guest lineup and saying, let's just have a word with the guys who are going to be speaking about this isn't the bar. This isn't their living room. This is a campaign. This is politics. We're trying to get him elected. We don't need to rally the base.
Okay. So look, I should say 100% that I didn't agree with her 100% because I do think that there was a lot of racist shit happening there. It wasn't just brotastic. But this is a thing that people who don't know, right? Because they're all like, this is all a joke. It's no big deal. It's not, because it's all bros and the stupid bro culture who think it's okay. It's just a joke, man. They're so fucking tone deaf that they have no idea of what they're talking about. They can't even see their stupidity. They can't see their tone deafness. They don't see their racism. They don't see their bigotry. They don't see the homophobia. They don't see the sexism. They just don't know because, hey, I'm so privileged and I'm so entitled. I should be able to do and say whatever I want. And that's why I'm going to vote for this dude because he's, you know, that guy. He's a man and he's standing up for men. And we're so, people know I'm not paying attention to us and we're supposed to be the ones that everybody pays attention to first. We should be able to tell women what they could do with their bodies. We can call Puerto Ricans trash. These freaking Puerto Ricans, man. It's true, huh? Don't tell nobody. You know what he was saying was right. I love that. Tony, whatever. That's what's happening. And I know because I have some brotastic friends. And they're funny when you're in a club having a beer. But there's, you know, they're an acquired taste and it only goes so far. And you're like, okay, this guy's an idiot. And then they think you're laughing with them, but you're actually laughing at them. But I have some reformed brotastic friends who are like, hey, man, I was such a tool bag when I was young. But that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. And so normal people, the people who are, you know, just the normies, right? And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against comedians. I think comedians should be given leeway when they're at a comedy club, when it's appropriate. Remember, read the room. That's what they didn't do. Read the room. That should have been the name on our thumbnail. Read the room, dummy. Normal people are thinking like the former president Barack Obama. This is what normal people are thinking.
We saw it last night. I know nobody's going to boo now. All you're going to do is vote. Hold on a second. So the man holds this big rally at Madison Square Garden. And the warm-up speakers were saying the most, we're trotting out and peddling the most racist, sexist, bigoted stereotypes. One guy called Puerto Rico, quote, an island of garbage. Now, these are fellow citizens he's talking about.
Fellow citizens they're talking about.
Here in Philadelphia, they are your neighbors. They are your friends. They are your co-workers.
Amen.
Your kids go to school with your kids.
Yep. Pile of garbage. That's what the normal people are thinking. But bro, that's just funny, man.
These are Americans.
They're Americans. Thank you, Barack Obama.
People.
I agree. Sorry.
And that is the reason why this election should not be close. It should be clear. Here's a good rule. If somebody does not respect you,
right.
If somebody does not see you,
right,
as fellow citizens with equal claims to opportunity,
right,
to the pursuit of happiness, to the American dream, you should not vote for them.
Right on.
You should not expect them to make your life better. They will not help you make the, they will not help you pay the bills.
Thank you. Look, the former president's right. He's right. We know what he's thinking. We know what he's thinking. These are your neighbors. Again, look, I'm the most when it comes to comedians. I'm like, all right, let them say that. That shit was not funny. It was inappropriate. Read the room. Read the room. So this is what it's sparking too. a round of political ads. The vice president put out an ad. The Lincoln Project put out one too, and they're hard not to agree with.
We are Puerto Ricans, and we are Americans. But Donald Trump doesn't see us that way. We remember what he did to us after Hurricane Maria. We were dying by the thousands while he threw paper towels at us like we were a joke. Because he thinks we are garbage.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
We are not your punchline. We know who we are. We are proud Americans, proud Puerto Ricans. And we see who you are. You are racist. You are a liar. You are the one that is garbage. And we know where real garbage belongs. Ooh. In the trash.
Wow, that's a strong ad. What do you think? Here's what I think is going to happen. So I think that Puerto Ricans are, not all of them, but some of them, I think they're rethinking. They're going, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. And I think they're going to change things. I also think that women are going to be the deal makers and the deal breakers in this. And I believe another ad from the Lincoln Project, I think this is what's going to happen. And this is what's happening in a lot of homes, happening on election day. It's happening at early voting. And I do believe that this will make the difference. This is it. Watch.
Still voting for him?
Hell yeah.
What about your wife?
She doesn't like him, but she's voting for him.
Same with mine.
Did you see her with that Kamala? She mouth. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. That is a great ad. Your vote is secret. That's a great ad. That's a great ad. I keep doing that because people are doing like little mustaches on me on TikTok, if you're wondering. That ad is so good, said Jujubee 711. It is. And it's true. I do believe that it's true. I think that's what's going to happen on election day. Another ad. This one's like vote common ground. Also women voting as well. This is what I think is going to happen.
Your turn, honey.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose. You can vote any way you want. And no one will ever know.
Did you make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remember, what happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote
Yes.
Harris Walls. Vote Common Good is responsible for the contents of this ad.
So good. Hey, honey, you get a vote, whatever. Yeah. Yes, honey, I voted. Vote your misogynistic butt, the person you want out. I love that ad. I love those ads. Fantastic. It is perfect. It is fantastic and it's perfect. Okay. One more thing, because I got to get out of here. I want to leave this with you. With all the people who are out there saying this, Donald Trump is a racist. I said Donald Trump was racist a long time ago. I was the first person to say it on TV, news anchor, and people were like, oh my God. Oh. Yeah, he's racist. People are always saying, oh, there's no proof that he's racist. I saw this and I said, I got to share it with my folks. Got to share it with the Lemonheads. So I want you guys to watch this. For all of you out there in whatever land you're in, TikTok land, if you're on the tube, wherever you are, for all of you who say Donald Trump isn't racist, here it is.
I just find it funny how before he said he was a Republican, nobody said Donald Trump was racist. You can't point one example where Donald Trump was being racist. Matter of fact, I guarantee you we can't find one. Watch this. Name one time Donald Trump has been racist.
Name one time Trump was racist.
Okay, I will. 1973, the Nixon administration sued Trump for refusing to rent to black people. 1980s, Trump's casinos were accused of hiding the black staff when Trump visited. 1989, Trump took out a full-page ad arguing for the death penalty for a group of 5 black men at Central Park 5, effectively putting a bounty on their heads and plaguing them with a lifetime of death threats. He was sued by the Justice Department for discrimination. 1991, black guys counting my money, I hate it. The only kinds of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes every day. I think that the black guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. 1992, Trump's casino was fined $200,000 for transferring black dealers off certain tables to appease racist patrons. 1993, Trump said Native American casinos shouldn't be allowed because they don't look like Indians to me. 2000, Trump ran a series of attack ads against Native American casinos alleging, with no proof, that they were guilty of crimes. 2004, Trump fired a black contestant from The Apprentice for being overeducated. 2010, Trump arguing in favor of segregating Muslims in Lower Manhattan. 2011, birtherism. Trump alleged that Obama was Kenyan based on nothing but skin color. He never apologized nor renounced the claim.
Well, she still ain't telling me what she gonna do for me as a black man, so I ain't voting for her.
You idiot. It's so true. I hear it all the time. These people are so dumb. You're dumb if you don't think this man is racist. He is racist and he knows it. Well, I know he doesn't know it. He's like all of those bros on stage who doesn't understand that what they did was tone deaf. Doesn't get it. Does not get it. Stand by. Let's see what we have here. There may be some breaking news. Oh yeah, I saw this morning. I don't know if we can put it up. We may be able to put up a full screen, but it's in the chat, Nikki, if you have it. One of George W. Bush's daughter, Barbara Pierce Bush, has just endorsed Kamala Harris to move our country forward and protect women's rights. So folks have been wondering, like, where is George Bush? Where are the Bushes on this? So we do have one coming out. It's not the Bush that is on the Today Show. What's her? Jenna. It's not Jenna Bush. It's Barbara Pierce Bush, which is her sister. And she's saying, let's see exactly what she says. It's a tweet that's by Kamala HQ. And there's this is a report that is on MSNBC this morning. So that's the Bush. When is the dad going to come out? Okay, guys. Got it. Okay, you can play it. You can play it and then I'll get out of here. If you have it. If you don't, no big deal. We know she's going to support. All right, don't worry about it.
The former
Nikki, don't worry.
President George W. Bush's daughters has just announced who she will back for president. In a statement to People magazine, she said that she was hopeful that voters will support Vice President Kamala Harris on Election Day in order to move our country forward and protect women's rights. She spent the weekend in Pennsylvania, adding that she was inspired to join friends and meet voters with the Harris Waltz campaign. Joe, I'd love your insights on this. I feel like...
all right, we got it. Okay, so she's been working with the Kamala Harris campaign and she's been knocking on doors. So that's it. Listen, thank you guys for watching. I know it's a little bit abrupt, but I have to get out of here. I have to get to the airport. I'm going to Washington, D.C. Remember, there's the big rally tonight, the big Kamala Harris rally in Washington, D.C. And I'm doing a focus group there. I'm going to be talking to some men about who they're voting for. And you're going to see it. We're going to clip it up and put it up on the channel and on our social. Okay. So I'm so glad that you guys are here. Also, we're going to go to Howard University, just so you know. I let you in on a little secret. And we're also going to Pennsylvania to talk to some voters there as well. So look forward. Make sure you look for it on our social. Check us out here on the channel. I'll see you today live at 5 o'clock. I hope I don't miss my plane. Bye, Lemonheads. Hit the like, thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Bye to the folks on YouTube, to the folks on TikTok. Make sure you hit the hearts. And make sure that you follow our stuff. Okay, I'll see you at 5 o'clock.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps us with the algorithm. And also, we'd love for you to become a subscriber. So hit that button, too. We're live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Eastern, so there's plenty of content for you to check out.